Hey kids, welcome back to the library with Nick. It's so great to see all of you. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday and a great week. This week in library, we've been reading and talking about responsibility. And the definition that my earlier classes this week have come up with is taking care of things. There's lots of different things we have to take care of in our lives. The people around us, ourselves, maybe pets if we have them, our planet, our houses, our apartments where we live. And we've been thinking about responsibility because it's our new SEL theme for December, our new social emotional learning theme, or as I like to call them, our ways that we can be better humans to each other. Some of you have already read this book with me this week, Mother Bruce. And there we got our definition for responsibility, and we looked at ways that Bruce takes care of other people in his life. And we also looked at different ways that we take care of things in our lives too. But today we're going to be reading a story about taking care of our messes, cleaning up after ourselves. It's one of the biggest responsibilities we have around our houses and in our lives. So today we're going to read Great. Now we've got Barbarians. But before we get to that, let's do our normal library time routines. As always, we start off with 3 things that never change. The first one being, I like you just the way you are. Doesn't matter what's going on in your life or what's going on in my life. I could be having a bad day or a happy day. Doesn't change how I feel about you. Number 2, I'm happy you're here today. I'm happy that you're watching my video today and that I don't get to see, but I get to imagine all your wonderful smiling faces listening to a story. And our third one is our expectations, which we don't have to do our Zoom expectations because we're not on Zoom. So I'll just say the first one. Please be kind and respectful to everyone around you today. As I always say, we need a little more kindness in our world. It definitely feels good, whenever someone's kind to you, and it's nice to repay that feeling too. All right, so let's get to our story. Great, now we've got Barbarians. Now this story is a little bit exaggerated. Obviously, you're not going to get barbarians in your house if you don't clean up after yourself. But it does make me laugh when I think about it. Great. Now we've got Barbarians by Jason Carter Eaton, illustrated by Mark Fearing. Mom was mad because I left cupcake crumbs in my bed again. If you don't clean up after yourself, we're going to get pests. Pests are things like insects or mice or different things that are unwanted in our homes. Mom always makes a big deal out of little things. Pfft, what was the worst that could happen? So we get a couple of ants, a few flies, a little bitty mouse. But the next day, great, we've got Barbarians, said my mother. His name was Vlad, and he demanded an entire cupcake. I thought he was kind of cute and handed him one. But Mom said he was disgusting and shooed him out the door. I figured that was the end of our pest invasion. But that afternoon, in the playroom, I ran into Tor, who'd come seeking glory and cheese curls. I swatted him out of the house before Mom could see. Things quickly got worse. My sister found 2 shaggy barbarians on her bed watching TV and finishing off a bag of chips that I had started earlier in the week. When my dad turned on the garage light, a whole bunch of surprised barbarians scurried off, leaving behind yak pelts and horn helmets. And then Mom caught a big bearded barbarian in the bathroom, putting on her makeup. I explained that maybe he thought it was war paint, but she didn't buy it. There was no more denying it. We had an infestation of barbarians. And I didn't think they were so cute anymore. They picked the marshmallows out of my cereal when I wasn't looking. They used my school supplies to scratch their hairy backs and my toys to clean out their ears. And when I got into bed, my blankets and pillows were gone. The barbarians had stolen them to make forts. Vlad and Tor couldn't agree on whose horde got the popcorn kernels and whose got the half-eaten sandwiches. So they each declared crumb war on the other. Their battles raged all night long. We set traps, but that hardly slowed them down. We made a scare barbarian, but barbarians aren't easily scared. The house was filled with snoring and snarling, belching and badgering, grumbling, growling, loitering, looting, and lazing savages of all shapes and sizes. Time to call an exterminator, said Mom. Yep, said the exterminator. You've got barbarians, all right. And one of the worst cases I've ever seen. Dad looked around the house sadly. Oh, looks like we're out of options, he said. I guess we'll have to move. I couldn't avoid it anymore. There was really only one solution left. Let's make a prediction. Remember, a prediction is when we think about what happens next in the story. Because reading is more than just looking at the words on the page. It's thinking about the story too. So what do you think the kid's going to do to get rid of the barbarians? All right. Do you have a prediction? Let's see what happens next. I cleaned up every crumb and sticky candy wrapper I'd ever left around the house. Months of slobby snacking and messy habits all went into the garbage. And as I cleaned, the barbarians grunted in disgust and sulked out of the door. Finally, only Vlad and Tor were left. I handed them the trash on their way out the door. I realized that Mom might exaggerate sometimes, but that doesn't mean she's wrong. And from that day forward, I made sure to always clean up after myself. Unfortunately, a week later, I forgot to turn off the water when I was done filling up the bathtub. Oh, great! Now we've got pirates! And that's our story for today. I hope even with the silly story like that, we can all learn a little bit about responsibility and make sure we take care of our own messes. All right, kids, you're wonderful and you make each day special just by being you. It was great to see you today. Have a great rest of your day.